Hello, Becca here, and coming to you today with your tidbit based off of a question that I got. And the question was about weight gain from a race. And I think it's important to preface this with that I go about my race training very different from what is considered normal, standard, recommended. I literally do not change my eating habits for a race. I will run a 10 or 12 mile run on a totally empty stomach because I train on an empty stomach always. If I'm not going to run until 10 o'clock one day, I might have something small before like around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, but I typically will just not eat anything until after I'm done running. My body feels better that way, and like I said, it's not recommended, it's not usually true to form for people. So the night before a race, I don't change my dinner. During a race, I never eat anything along the course. I actually do all my training runs without water on me, so I generally don't even have water in a race. So I don't find that my weight fluctuates because of that. Now there's a couple of factors at play. If you are training for a longer distance race and you're increasing your mileage as the weeks go on, you may actually be eating more towards the end of your training and not even realizing it. And then you go into taper week and you're not running as much, and then your body's kind of like, and it starts to store some extra calories because your intake is the same, but your output, your number of miles is down. It is possible to have some lactic acid buildup, to have some swelling and water retention after a race, so it is important to make sure that you're drinking enough water the days leading up to the race, but also the days after the race. And while you're not necessarily gonna go run the day after a half marathon, you do want to get up, move around, do some stretching, do some recovery work for yourself so that you don't stay so bloated feeling. But I really think that for me, because it works to not ever change my food intake, that helps maintain later because I'm not adding new foods in the night before a race. I'm not eating a bagel and a banana at the post-race. I still have my normal breakfast after I run, and I just keep everything the same. To the extent though that like if I am more hungry the day of a race, I will eat a little more because I've expended my body. Generally I get, a little more adrenaline, typically run a little faster than I do in a training run of that same distance. So there is some increased hunger, and so I will feed a little bit of that, but not like stuff myself. But I would look at the food intake and the water intake in the days leading up to your race, because literally to gain weight, it's 3,500 calories, and I don't think anyone is like really eating that much the day of a race to put weight on. But yeah, that's my thought on that.